We may have a derecho today in the northern plains that's going to produce winds greater than 75 miles per hour, possibly spin up tornadoes, large hail, and flash flooding. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Pew. Today is July 28th, 2025. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a moderate risk, or 4 out of 5, from South Dakota to Minnesota. And with that, there's confidence that there's going to be a derecho, which is a widespread, long-lived, straight-line wind event. 45% chance in South Dakota to see winds greater than 75 miles per hour, but anywhere in this hatch risk is also fair game to see something as well. We also have a 5% chance to see a spin up on isolated tornado from South Dakota to Minnesota, and also a 2% chance around that as well. And in addition to that, we may see large hail from 1 to 2 inches in diameter, especially when these storms start initiating. In terms of flash flooding, these areas have already been seeing rain in the past 48 hours, so the soil is probably already moist and saturated, which is going to make it harder for the water to be absorbed into the ground. And today we're going to see an additional 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. Okay, so time frames. In North Dakota, you're already seeing an isolated severe weather event that's traveling from the northwest to the southeast, and when it reaches South Dakota around 22Z, or that's 5 p.m. Central Time, things are going to start intensifying, and we're going to see isolated to clusters of storms gathering together to form one big blob, or an MCS. And these storms are going to travel from South Dakota to Minnesota and even Iowa and maybe Wisconsin throughout the evening and into the night. But once it gets to the night, it will start dissipating by very early morning. Looking at the surface, we have a lot of things going on for us. We have a high pressure in the south, and we have a low pressure in the eastern Rockies. And what this high pressure is doing is bringing in warm, moist air from the south to the Midwest to the plains. And this low pressure, because it's counterclockwise flow, it's actually going to wrap around that warm, moist air around it and bring it towards the Rockies. And if we take a look at satellite imagery, we can see that we have mostly clear skies, and that's going to bring in a lot of diurnal heating, more surface heating, which is going to bring more instability. And like I said earlier, the northern plains have been seeing a lot of rain in the past 48 hours, so the plants and the soil are going to help influence the moisture in this area because it's going to promote evapotranspiration. So all the water content in these plants and the soil are going to start evaporating, which is going to help with the dew points. And with all that said, with a cold front that's going to be pursuing to the east, and so we have easterly winds bringing in warm, moist air. They're going to combine, and that cold front is going to push through and move that warm air up and produce these storms. Looking at 500 millibars or midway through the troposphere, we're going to have a very subtle shortwave trough. And this subtle shortwave trough is going to do 3 things for us. One is going to bring in cold air aloft, which is going to help with the lapse rate, which basically means that the air parcel is going to rise even faster. 2, we're going to have really good shear, which is going to tilt those updrafts and prolong those storms. And 3, it's going to give us vorticity, which is going to give us a positive spin with those updrafts and really enhance those thunderstorms and upward motion. So combine what happened in the mid-levels, combine what happened with the easterly winds at the surface. We also have orographic lift because in this area the terrain gets a little bit higher, and because we have winds coming from the east, it's going to go uphill, and that's going to force the air upward, which is going to promote more upward motion. So if you're in the affected area today or know somebody that is, please stay weather aware today, have a safety plan, and watch out for falling power lines and falling trees. And that's